Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in. It's the Boulevard Home Game of the Week on a Friday night on the Fan Sports Network. Hurricane Tigers host the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs in this Region 9 showdown here tonight. Here in the early stages of region play, Caden Foremaster, Ben Lindquist with you here on the broadcast this evening. Welcome on in, everybody. Ben, we are in for a treat tonight. Two great teams that are facing off here for the first time this season.
And a re-emerging Hurricane team against a undefeated Crimson team. This is probably one of the hottest matchups in the region. This, and I think the Pineview Crimson game next week, of course, is going to be a potential undefeated matchup if Crimson can get out of here tonight. But that's going to be difficult, Caden, as Hurricane is much improved over that winless region season last year.
Much improved indeed. They're seeing a lot from their team leaders, a lot of which played good minutes last year, but of course now as juniors and seniors, we're starting to see a lot more progression. Really good shooting coming from guys like Brigham Kemp, who's a great shooter, RJ Hurst, who's been really commanding at times as well, Quinn Gubler, and then having Callan Hughes down low has been phenomenal to have some good size for him. So this has been a really good Tiger team so far, facing off against a really good Crimson Cliffs team in Region 9 right now. The big conversation is parity. There's a lot of parity this season where we just don't know going into a game who might be the one coming out on top at the end of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things where you've had Dixie dominating the region for so many years, especially the last couple of some of those teams, and then it was Snow Canyon for a nice little string there as they won a state championship 3 or 4 years ago. And so, you know, this is the first time I think everybody's kind of felt like this is our year to potentially win the region, which, you know, generally is one of the toughest regions in the state. That in Region 11, right up in Logan,
Cache Valley, yeah.
And so, yeah, this is an interesting matchup. I mean, not very often. Last year it was really Hurricane just trying to get a region win, and now they're trying to get a region championship. So a lot of great storylines tonight. Home crowd on a Friday night. I expect a full capacity and a loud gym. They got a great band, not quite like Cedars, but I would say second place in the region for sure. They're loud right out of the gate. And I think it's going to be a great environment for high school basketball. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. Today's game is brought to you by Boulevard Home as our title sponsor, making your house a home for 50 years here in southern Utah. Go check out Boulevard Home for great deals on all your home furnishing needs. And Pregame brought to you by Sport Court. Get the home court advantage, and you can turn your backyard into family fun. SportCourtOfSouthernUtah.com. You can give them a call as well, 435-586-1282. Ben, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into some of the keys to the game. We're going to be looking at who could be our Findlay Subaru Star Watch and more on the other side, inside of the pre-game coverage. Again, on your Boulevard Home Game of the Week with the Fan Sports Network.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Welcome to the Back Nine. We bring the world's best courses to you. Elevate your game at any time with 24/7 access to top-tier golf technology and expert PGA instructors available. Back Nine Golf is a place to improve your swing for all ages. Join us today.
Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Kanab is open daily for free family fun. Take a tour, volunteer, hike a trail, or bring home a new best friend. Visit Best Friends today for magical memories that'll last forever.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that could make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks A stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
Today's game is brought to you by Boulevard Home, Wilkinson's House of Lighting, Coral Canyon Golf Course, and City of St. George Recreation.
Pre-game coverage here brought to you by Bucks Ace Hardware. Check out their 3 Southern Utah locations. If you haven't seen the new one here in Hurricane, an absolutely beautiful store. They have moved locations. They had one just at the north end of the end zone over here next to Hurricane High School, but they have moved west up State Street in Hurricane. Go check out all 3 of their Southern Utah locations for things like ammo, barbecues, lawn, garden, think bucks. So inside the pregame here, pregame show coverage, Hurricane Tigers, Crimson Cliffs Mustangs about to go at it. Let's talk a little bit about some of these keys to the game. First off, we'll start with the visiting Crimson Cliffs Mustangs.
Yeah, and look, this is something they've kind of struggled with through the month of December is offensive rebounding. And it, you know, it's one of those things that you give up those extra possessions, and that can really come to hurt you in these close games. You know, that Desert Hills games was a 48-41. Actually, all of the Region 9 games on Wednesday were 48 for the winning home team. And so when you have these 3 and 4 possession, potentially 1 or 2 possession games, you can't give up those extra opportunities on those offensive rebounds. And then defensively, they started off the season as kind of a pressing, up-tempo, defensive-oriented team. And then I think that just kind of resulted in some fatigue. And so they went kind of to this real intense man-to-man. And then I think they've kind of settled on more of a in-the-gaps help offense, or I'm sorry, defense. And so I think that's going to be something that you're going to see them. They did a great job of containing Desert Hills on Wednesday defensively, especially guys like Ben Chase and Jack Openshaw and some of the shooters and Mason Rasmussen and other guys like that. So certainly something that they're going to want to carry over in tonight's matchup. And then lastly, they're going to need to control the tempo. You know, this is a team that when they can get out into transition, boy, they're so much more effective. And so if they can control that offensive and defensive intensity and tempo, boy, here on a road Friday night in Hurricane, it's going to be critical because this is the best Hurricane team Crimson will have faced in the last 3 years.
Absolutely. And for Hurricane, keys to the game.
Yeah, Caden, look, this is a team that when they beat Dixie, right, it might be their first, I think it was their first win against Dixie since 2019, if I'm correct. But they did it from the three-point line, right? They were blistering hot. They made a ton of shots from the three-point line. If you watched any of the JV game before this, they kind of have the same identity for that team. They love to shoot the three, and sometimes when that three's going in at home, boy, look out at the home crowd because everybody likes the three-point shot. And then you got the physicality, right? I think this is something that this has been an identity of Hurricane for a couple, probably the last couple of decades. Is they always play with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, certainly physical. Last year and the year before, they always passed the eye test, but this year they're a lot more skilled than they've ever been. And then lastly, to win this game, they're going to really have to capitalize on this home court advantage. It's Friday night here in Hurricane. The crowd is already filling up. I think they have a little a fundraising night tonight. And so I expect a raucous and wild crowd tonight, and it's going to get loud in here with the help of the band.
Absolutely, the band makes it for any sort of sporting event. It's always nice to have a good band, and they are rocking here tonight. Those are your keys to the game. Keys to the game today brought to you by Everbowl. Their acai bowl smoothies packed with superfoods to fuel your day. Proudly serving avocado toast and sips in your favorite flavors. Everbowl, where St. George gets its superfood fix. Let's take a quick look as well as some of the stats. A little bit of a head-to-head matchup for these two teams. Fairly evenly matched. You look at points per game, it's just about as neck and neck as you could possibly get at 64.3 for Crimson, 64.6 for Hurricane, both of which sit really high in the region as well in average points per game.
Yeah, both these teams can really fill it up, but very rarely do you see two teams match up within a tenth of a percentage point of a point. So both of them scoring 64. Again, it's a new year. Region is kind of getting into that end of the first cap. So I expect a lower scoring game than in the 60s. I could see something around like 52 to 58 or, in the 50s for both of these teams. But who knows? Could turn out to be a little bit of a three-point shootout. And if that's the case, then, boy, both these teams can get up there. As Crimson's gotten up into the 70s a couple of times. But the interesting thing here is the rebounds, right? We talk about the offensive rebounds. You can see Hurricane at 30 rebounds a game versus 23. I think that's a little bit of a glaring statistic to pay attention to because that speaks to some of those offensive rebounding woes that Crimson struggled with. But then you move to the assists, and that 16 versus 12. What that tells you, Devin and I called the Utah Tech game last night, and the assists were a noticeable thing for Utah Tech's victory. And what that translates to is ball movement. That usually tells you that the ball is flying around and guys are giving up a good shot for a great shot, and that always seems to result in an assist for one of your teammates.
Absolutely. The way I see it is rebounds are going to help stop second chance opportunities, but assists are going to create better shots.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of something we're going to be looking out for, and maybe another key to the game for both of these teams here this evening as we're getting closer to tip-off. And today's game is brought to you by some of our great partners, Down East Clothing. Down East going back to their roots. You can save big on quality products. And Honolulu Grill, spreading aloha. Stop into Honolulu Grill on the corner of 700 South and 700 East for your favorite Hawaiian dishes. And make sure to try their original Kava Aid. All right, we're going to step aside. When we come back, it's going to be tip-off here on the Fan Sports Network. Don't go anywhere.
At Great Harvest, we believe in crafting more than just bread. We provide crisp, garden-fresh salads and savory sandwiches. Everything from garden-fresh ingredients to our signature handcrafted bread. Our friendly staff will guide you to find a meal that will leave you craving seconds. At Great Harvest, we truly provide something for everyone. And don't forget our baked goods. Satisfy your sweet tooth and finish your meal with a brownie or cinnamon roll. Come visit us at Great Harvest.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Your child's sports journey starts with the City of St. George Recreation. From their first steps on the court or field to becoming a star player, our youth sports programs are here to develop talents and teamwork skills. So get out and play. Check out all the sports and get signed up at sgcityrec.org.
At Grass Creek Construction, they put their heart and integrity into every build. Their team is committed to delivering top-quality commercial projects that stand out. Integrity is their competitive edge. Building with passion, building with purpose, proud sponsor of local sports.
Oh, hello, Italian nightclub from Jimmy John's. Ciao, freshly baked bread piled with Italian-style meats. Hey, hand-sliced veggies. Am I obsessed with this sandwich? Yeah. So what if I am? Jimmy John's. Order online or on the app.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out, with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
Hey, St. George, this is Brian. I'm the new owner of your local Everbowl. Looking for a delicious, nutritious meal? Come to Everbowl. Our acai bowls are packed with superfoods to fuel your day. And it's where Region 9 sports fans fuel up.
Remember when Down East was all scratch and dent furniture? Your go-to for dorm rooms, kids' rooms, and first homes? Well, the times have changed and Down East has changed with you. Down East is proud to offer our beautiful collection of high-quality furniture designed to elevate your space and make a statement. From stylish sofas and dining tables to cozy bedroom collections. If you're starting fresh or looking to upgrade, Down East has everything you need to create the home you'll love.
Today's game is brought to you by Appliance Wholesalers Plus, Buck's Ace Hardware, Dealer Collision, and Finley Subaru.
Back at it here as we get into the starting lineups for both these teams. Starting off with the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. We start off with number 12, Drake Carroll. Number 13, Trevor Taylor. Number 14, J.J. Eaton. Number 24, McKay Lindquist. And number 31, Travis Murdoch. Good, solid starting lineup. Ben, you had mentioned to me off the air that we had a little bit of a different starting lineup for a while there with Crimson Cliffs, being that J.J. was out for just a little bit, but he's, of course, back in the starting lineup.
He missed 3 games, and there you saw Britton Phillips, who you're going to see a lot of minutes from tonight as well off the bench. He's first guy off, 6th man at this point. And Caden, I mean, come on. How great was that student national anthem?
Oh, she was phenomenal.
And then you got the junior ROTC. I mean, it's really cool. That's my favorite part, and I really think Devin's heard me go on and on about this, but I really think every gym should have that big flag that comes down to center court halfway, and it's like every court should have that.
Every court should have it. Starting lineups here for the Hurricane Tigers. Number 1, Brigham Kemp. Number 2, Quinn Gubler. Number 14, Bryson McCauley. Number 21, R.J. Hurst. And number 50, Callan Hughes.
And, you know, here's another thing we talked about this Hurricane team, and we covered this a little bit in the media day. This was a team that over the summer, a lot of guys will break up and go their separate ways for some AAU and stuff like that. This was a Hurricane team that actually kind of dedicated their summer to each other and stayed together and went and played a bunch of tournaments. They got a lot more reps than most teams. That's something that Tyler Roberts at Dixie had done for a number of years. And they just have a different swagger. They have a different level of just kind of, you know, chip on their shoulder, and they're playing with a lot more confidence. Again, a much improved team, and maybe the best team they've had since maybe 4 years ago, I think, with that Jackson Last and some of those guys. It might have been a little longer than that.
And it really helps that they're bringing in some size to this team.
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
you can see down there, number 50, Callan Hughes, matching up well against Trevor Taylor, getting ready to tip this thing away. Crimson Cliffs in the blue jerseys, Hurricane Tigers in the whites, trimmed in red. And we're about to get this thing underway. Here's the tip, and Callan Hughes wins it into the hands of Quinn Gubler, and we're underway with Tiger basketball. Gubler brings it over to the left side, up high to Hughes. Hughes gonna hand off to Gubler, bobbles it around, but able to control it over to Kemp. Kemp controls it up top, drives it in with the left, gets Taylor off the ground, spins it around, puts it up, and that's good.
And great move. You know, they're really gonna attack out of that high post there with either the handoff or the dribble drive.
Taylor on the left elbow, brings it back up to the perimeter. Swings it around to Lindquist on the right side. He goes back up top to Taylor. Taylor on the drive with the right hand, bounces off his leg. It's gonna go out of bounds. Tiger basketball.
And he had a great first step on him there, but sometimes you gotta have that second dribble, just almost a low push through as you get past that next layer of defenders.
Gubler gets it into Hughes, hands it off to Kemp. Kemp looking for a pick from Hughes to try to set up some space. He'll pull the three. Not there. Rebound on the ground. Lindquist is able to tip it out to Drake Carroll, and here come the Mustangs on the other side. Reach-in foul is going to go against Hurst.
I was about to say, it looks like they're going to let him play tonight, as we've seen some reach-ins and some grabs already gone unnoticed. But, you know, this is Region 9 basketball. I think I like the idea of letting them play a little bit.
Taking it in from the baseline is Carroll to Lindquist. He'll take the three right away. That's just off the mark, no good. Tipped out of bounds. Going to be off the Mustangs, Hurricane basketball.
And good look there. I like that look out of bounds, you know, in rhythm. Trav almost came down with that rebound and grabbed that for him. But you can see it. There's just another level of intensity tonight.
Gubler swings it over to Hurst. Hurst spins it back. Almost lost a pivot foot, but was able to hold on. Kicks it out to Kemp, who will reset. Goes in with the left hand and scoops it up with the right for two.
And he, you know, most right-handed players like to go to their right. You can see the first two times he's gone to his left.
And there's Drake Carroll cleaning up his own miss and getting the putback for the first points on the board for the Mustangs.
Underrated rebounders, Drake Carroll. You know, he's a pretty physical little point guard.
Hughes swings it around the perimeter to Kemp. Kemp looking inside, it's stolen away by Taylor. Taylor looking up court quickly to Lindquist, who's going to slow things down. Right into the hand of R.J. Hurst. Right place, right time. He'll pull the three on the other side. It's a little long. Gets his own rebound. Down low. Shot up by McCauley. Not there. Rebound Lindquist. Mustangs taking it the other way. Carroll can't hold on to it off the pass.
And I'm just a big believer, Caden, when you've got the ball in your hands, you go till somebody stops you, right? Unless you got a guy up in front with nobody on him, you go until you draw a defender, then you kick out to the next guy, especially when you have numbers in transition. And right there, that's one of those ones that's like almost no man's land when you give it up at that point in the game. Take it till someone stops you, and when they do, kick it out to the open guy.
And important to clean up these things early, avoid the turnovers late in the game. as it's the Tigers on the other side here with Gubler taking a baseline. He goes up high off the glass for 2.
And you can see Hurricanes on the offensive with the attacking style offense as we see Drake Carroll get a backdoor play from Trevor Taylor there for 2. 6'4" with 5'18". Pretty good momentum till far for both teams.
Into the right corner, bringing it back out. McCauley on the wing. Takes it up top to Hughes. Now over to Hurst. Hurst looking for a pick from Hughes. Settles back into perimeter ball. McCauley. Over to Hughes, who takes it back up. 10 on the shot clock here for Hurst. Hurst has an open lane. He goes strong. There's nothing there. Cleaned up by Callan Hughes.
And already what we talked about in the keys to the game, 2 offensive rebounds, both resulting in baskets. It's those second chance points that kill you.
8-4 Tiger lead as Carroll gets it over to Eaton, now to Taylor. Taylor can't control it. Good aggressive ball by number 14, Bryson McCauley, able to tip it away out of bounds, but that's what Tigers are going to do tonight. They're going to be a little scrappy with you.
Physical on defense and attacking on offense.
Taylor takes the inbound pass from the sideline. Looked for a backdoor cut, but it wasn't there.
Yeah, and 3 turnovers so far. Uncharacteristic right now for this Crimson team as they've really taken care of the ball. I think they had 10 turnovers total in the Wednesday night game against Desert Hills and 3 already in the first quarter tonight. 4:26 left.
Gubler brings it up court for the Tigers. Swings it to Hurst. He takes one from 3 feet behind the arc and nails it. Nets on fire, 3-pointer. On the other side, looking down low, Taylor wide open.
Great pass. You know, Travis Murdoch is commanding double teams right now as the leading scorer for Crimson. I love that he squared up, saw the double team, and found Trevor Taylor under the basket for an easy layup.
And a timeout taken by Crimson Cliffs. We'll take one ourselves, 30-second break, and we'll be back right after this.
Hello, sports fans. It's Boo Boo and Nick from Honolulu Grill.
Come get a taste of the islands. Try our famous Kahlua pork or tender teriyaki chicken, and you'll love our mac salad and sweet sauce on your rice.
Don't forget to try our original Kava 8 at Honolulu Grill.
It's game time.
House of Jump is Southern Utah's only indoor trampoline park and your only place to jump, dunk, and dodge. Head on over to our house, the House of Jump.
Coming out of the timeout here, 11-6. It's a Tiger lead, and they control it. Hughes hands it off to Gubler. Gubler brings it over to the left side of the court, picked up by Taylor. Almost loses it, but Kemp's there to clean it up. He takes it all the way to the baseline, scoops it underneath. We've seen that shot a lot from the Tigers. They're finding their way under the basket.
And you just see how much pressure they're putting offensively on the dribble drive. We see J.J. Eaton knock down a corner pocket 3, 13-9. And right now, it's not necessarily whether Crimson can score, Caden. It's if they can stop Hurricane on the defensive end.
McCauley on the drive in. That's blocked away by J.J. Eaton.
Great block there. You see, though, Caden, Hurricane is doing everything downhill. All they're trying to do is put pressure either off of a ball screen or a catch and a rip through or a jab step going into the pen and trying to create a mismatch.
R.J. Hurst looking for some space. 15 on the shot clock here for the Tigers. Hughes with an open lane to the basket, lays it in. He thought about that dunk, just took off from a little too far back.
I thought he was going to dunk it for sure.
A whistle on the other side, and one is going to be the call, and Travis Murdoch's going to head to the line.
And I really think this is when Drake Carroll's at his best, is when he's driving in, getting that next level of penetration, and then finding a great cutting. One of the best basketball basket cutters in Region 9 is Travis Murdoch. He just has kind of a nose for getting to those spots as he completes the three-point play. And right now, Caden, I think Crimson's fortunate to just be down 3 as they've not really executed defensively and had those early turnovers.
Yeah, turnovers were key early on, and just allowing Hurricane to get some baskets right underneath. I think the majority of Hurricane's points have all happened within 3 feet of the rim. Checked into the game is Lincoln Stout for the Tigers. Here he is in the corner taking the 3.
And I
just off the mark.
I had a chance to watch him in the JV game. He knocked down 4 or 5 threes. Another offensive rebound. That's number 3 on the offensive end. And every single one of them has resulted in a basket for 6 points on second chance points.
Both Stouts in. We've got Lincoln Stout in, number 12, and number 30, Tyson Stout, as that one's off the mark, rebounded by Quinn Gubler.
And I think, you know, Hurricanes going to give Crimson that shot all night. They got to make sure and be patient and get that second layer of defensive penetration. As we see, he just is a ball of energy there for a 19-12 lead for Hurricane at home with 2 minutes left. Caden, we got a good one.
This is a good high-scoring first quarter here with that Brigham Kemp turnaround. Jay Taylor takes it up top to Murdoch. Murdoch swings it around to Carroll. Carroll slows things down here.
And this is where Crimson struggles a little bit in these situations where they just don't move much. Luckily, Travis makes a great backdoor cut there, and Drake finds it. But you can kind of see sometimes for Crimson it turns into one guy with the ball and 4 guys kind of standing and watching, which does a couple of things. One, it makes it super easy to guard defensively, and 2, it doesn't result in high percentage shots.
Yeah, off-ball movement essential in today's game of basketball. As the first of the Fabulous Freddy's free throws is good. So again, at the line right now, number 31 for Crimson Cliffs, Travis Murdoch.
And Travis went 8 of 8 the other night on way to 19 points as the leading scorer for Crimson Wednesday night against Desert Hills in that 48-41 victory at home. And he is 3 for 3 tonight. And it looks like Crimson's going to jump into a little bit of a zone here, and it results in a turnover.
Drake Carroll will set up the offense with 1:30 left to go in the first. Carroll keeping it high on the logo, swings it around to the right side. Murdoch brings it back up top to Taylor, into the corner to Carroll. Carroll drives the baseline with the left, goes up strong and gets the bucket.
Great move. He does a great job of getting inside, and for, you know, a 6'1" guy, he actually finishes really well at the hoop.
Brigham Kemp tries to penetrate into the defense, has nowhere to go, kicks it out to Stout. It's back to Kemp. Sets up the offense, looking for a pick from McCauley. No space there. Taylor all over him. Can't get the pass off, but he's able to now. And trying to reset this offense with only 7 on the shot clock. It's McCauley at the free throw line, kicks it out. Kemp's going to take a deep 3, rattles it in.
And you can see he is ready to play tonight.
And Murdoch answers back.
And Murdoch comes right back and says, I'll see that 3 with one of my own. 22-19, shot clock turned off now. Look for Hurricane to get the last shot here, Caden. Although I don't know. I mean, look, they're going to go for the bucket right here. And a crafty up and under. He's a good player. You can see he's just got kind of that ball hawking defensive intensity, and then on offense, he is always attacking, always looking to catch and shoot. And when you guard him up close, he's going to try and make a move at the hoop, just like he did there, as he shoots a little short on that first one.
20 seconds left here in the first quarter, 22-19. Hurricane leads, looking to extend it here on the back end of the Fabulous Freddy's free throws. And Brigham Kemp makes the second, goes 1-1 from the line. Carroll will control it for the final 15 as he crosses the timeline for the Mustangs. Mustangs down to 10 seconds left. Carroll goes over to Taylor, looking inside to Murdoch. It's tipped away, stolen by McCauley. Stout goes up court to Kemp, and it's tipped out of bounds. It's going to be Tiger basketball with 1:07. Tipped off the hand of Drake Carroll.
Yeah, and 4 turnovers here in the first quarter. Obviously going to be a point of emphasis as we get one for J.J. Eaton as he gets a near still at half court for a volleyball line running 3-pointer that almost goes in. Pretty good game so far, Caden.
So far, so good. Check it out on the Holbrook Asphalt replay. The steal nearly gets it to go at the buzzer. But that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. 23-19. Hurricane leads here on the Fan Sports Network.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit HolbrookAsphalt.com to discover more.
Scooter's Coffee and Hurricane is the best way to start your day or get you through your day. From breakfast sandwiches to cinnamon rolls to amazing smoothies and, of course, coffee. Anytime is a good time to sip and smile Scooter's Coffee. Open 7 days a week.
Huge news! Sport Court has a brand new showroom and design center, and it's next level. See why so many are choosing Sport Court here in Southern Utah for top quality basketball, pickleball, and multi-purpose courts. Learn more at sportcourtofsouthernutah.com.
Mustangs take control of the basketball as we head on into the second quarter. Wilkinson's house lighting scoreboard, 23-19. Hurricane Tigers lead. It's Murdoch bringing it back up to the top. He's double teamed. They get it into Taylor down low. Find Drake's Carroll, and he gets it to go as he streaks to the basket.
He was in that position where you don't know if you bank it or you lay it over the top, and he kind of was in between zone there and got a couple friendly bounces.
And an offensive foul is going to be the call.
A little bit of a moving screen there. And 23-21, I think if you're Crimson, you got to feel pretty good about what you've seen so far, because Hurricane has definitely seemed like the sharper team, more aggressive, and Crimson's been able to counter with some nice buckets and a couple of good plays.
Murdoch with the ball on the baseline, picked up by Kemp. He pushes it up with the right. That's no good, and Kemp will take the rebound. He'll bring it the other way for the Tigers. Coming off the screen, they make the switch. Kemp all the way down, nowhere to go. Loses the ball, it's picked up by Hughes, and he drops it in the bucket.
It's these second chance opportunities that have really given that 4-point cushion right now to Hurricane.
On the other side, it's Eaton, bringing it up top with the left, over to the left corner. Murdoch swings it over to Phillips, who's checked in. Now to Carroll. Carroll into the middle, finds the back door, right behind the defender. Great pass.
And I like it when they do a little more of this screen roll action, especially with a guy like JJ, who is looking to set an aggressive screen and roll to the hoop every single time.
And this is why Crimson's assist numbers are so much higher as well. They're looking for that open man down low. Three on its way from Stout. That is no good. On the other side, it's Carroll. Takes it into the corner. Murdoch, he'll pull the three, and that one hits.
A great shot there. And again, I love, Drake could have shot that, but what he did is he drew the defender, kicked it to a great shooter in the corner in Murdoch, and he knocks it down. And suddenly, Caden, it's 26-25 for Crimson.
That's right. I believe Crimson's first lead of the game, if I'm not mistaken.
You're correct, yeah, because Kemp got that one right out of the gate.
That's right. McCauley swings it up top to Kemp. He goes to Gubler. Gubler brings it back up, looking for Hughes down low. He's open, but Taylor gets there and blocks it.
And that's a good call. I thought they were going to call a foul on the way down, but that's a jump. Trevor Taylor is uncharacteristically a great blocker, and he doesn't have a ton of size, but he's got those long arms, and he is aggressive on defense at blocking and kind of, some might call him the X factor. Those watching at home sometimes call him that, but he does a great job on defense for this Crimson team.
And shows it off there at the blocked shot against Callan Hughes, the big center for this Tiger team.
Now, interesting thing here, there's going to be 3 seconds left on the shot clock, Caden. Of course, this is because Hurricane retained possession, so the shot clock maintains where it was at.
McCauley heaves, able to hit rim, so they don't stop play, but quickly in transition go the Mustangs. Not there. Hurst will get the rebound.
Great chance to get a bucket up on the transition end there. And again, Trevor Taylor, hands in the pocket, X factor, engaged. And he's able to be disruptive there. He's not a great offensive player, but I love guys that understand their role, right? You got a shooter like Murdoch, you got scorers like Lindquist and Carroll, and so he knows his role, And I love guys that fit that role and know where they're at every time on the floor.
Taylor looks to Lindquist, and Kemp almost got the steal.
Kemp thought he had a freebie there, and that's one of those ones where it just it's such a good pass. You get so excited to take it down the other end that you could bobble it just a little bit. Again, 26-25, still 5:05 here in the second quarter.
Lindquist, he pulls the three. It's long. Rebounded by Kemp.
Long indeed. The crowd's letting him know there.
And Kemp hits it on the other side. Retakes the lead for the Tigers. Drake Carroll going in against the defense, has to back it out. Looking for Taylor on the cut, he's there.
And you can see Hurricanes so aggressive in those passing lanes that back door's open so much.
It's open almost every time. They've got the majority of their scoring done through the backdoor cut. As McCauley picked up by Taylor. Taylor's knocks it away. On the ground, bodies ball, but Tigers remain in possession. R.J. Hurst with 17 on the shot clock on the spin move. Takes it from 15. It's not there. Tipped, rebounded, goes to Reed, and a whistle.
And I like what Crimson's doing defensively. They've kind of been able to weather that storm a little bit. And Hurricane, I think, is just, they're getting looks from inside. It's just, they're not falling right now. But this is what we expected. I expected a close game, 28-28, and you might be very well right. They might be on par to their season averages in the 60s.
Drake Carroll bringing the ball up court. Hands it off to Reed on the right side. Back into the middle to Carroll. He takes the 10-footer and nails that.
In rhythm, I like those types of shots where you square your shoulders. You're able to pick up the hoop quickly, and that's an easy shot for Drake Carroll.
30-28, Crimson Cliffs leads on the Wilkinson's House Lighting scoreboard. Bringing it inside is McCauley, big body, gets the foul call.
Big, strong kid, determined to get to that left side, and that's the hardest thing as the defenders when a guy pivots, turns, shot fakes. It's so hard to be disciplined and stay down. Great move. And I think Britton Phillips is saying, well, what else do you want me to do? He had it for a long time in there, and I thought I was solid, but a great move.
Free throw made. Shortens that lead down just one, 29-30. Bryson McCauley back at the line here. Did not start early on in the season, but starting here tonight. He's proved his spot in the lineup. Carroll brings it up court off the miss.
A little bit of a zone here, and that's Lindquist's sweet spot.
Nice little 12-foot jump shot.
Great pass by Carroll. By my count, that's his 5th assist tonight, and he averages about 5 a game, and so he could have a chance to get to 10 at this point.
Kemp on the baseline, blocked behind from Lindquist, and there's a foul.
And you can see Kemp, this is really unusual, Caden. A lot of guys, especially at the high school level, obviously when you get to Division I or you get to the NBA, they're good going both ways in attack mode. But at high school, Kemp really loves, it's unusual to see a guy who's right-handed who likes to go so hard to his left. And that's some of the stuff you pick up on a scouting report, those tendencies. But in most of the times that we've seen him in this first half here, he's gone to his opposite hand, the left hand. And it looks like Coach Murdoch's going to go to the bench here. He's going to bring on Will Hokinson and Eaton and Murdoch back in and give, for the first time, Drake Carroll and Trevor Taylor a break.
R.J. Hurst sets inbound from the baseline. It's tipped away immediately. It'll stay down here with the Tigers. Good defensive pressure by the Mustangs. They continue to lay it on defensively. Timeout taken as well. 3:23 left to play in the first half. It's 32-29, that lead in favor of Crimson Cliffs. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back right after this.
Huge news! Sport Court has a brand new showroom and design center, and it's next level. See why so many are choosing Sport Court here in Southern Utah for top quality basketball, pickleball, and multi-purpose courts. Learn more at sportcourtofsouthernutah.com.
Hi, I'm Jermaine O'Jegber from The Rink, and I'm inviting you to come out and skate The Rink. The Rink is the hot spot in town for big group events and kid birthday parties. We now have a karaoke room and retro skate night every Friday night. Visit skatetherink.com to learn more and let the good times roll at The Rink.
Coming out of the timeout, Timeout's brought to you by UD & Associates. For great service on rates on home and auto, life insurance, call Luke today, 435-251-9102. Get a free quote, see how much you can save.
And 32-29 for Crimson with just over 3:20 in the second quarter here. And again, Kemp goes aggressive again.
Can't get that one to fall. Rebounded by the Mustangs. Here's Hokinson coming off the bench. Fresh legs in for the Mustangs here. Taking it to the baseline, nearly losing it. Has to kick it back out. Murdoch's there to clean it up. He has a lane to the basket. Can't get that to drop. It's rebounded by the Tigers.
And he's usually pretty solid at those. J.J. Eaton has been everywhere on defense as he nearly steals it at half court. But Hurricanes kind of come out in the zone here the last few minutes. And you know, it's funny, I've not seen a lot of teams throw zone at Crimson, so this will be interesting to see how they react. I didn't get a chance to watch all of that Hurricane-Dixie game, and not sure if they threw much there at Dixie.
Gubler controls the point for the Tigers. Takes it with the right hand, open lane, all the way to the basket. Doesn't get it to go. Rebounded by Carroll. Gubler was there right behind him. Carroll read it.
Almost picked his pocket coming behind. And they're going to go back to this zone. Again, Caden, rule number one, get it to the middle. Although that didn't work out so well. And that'll be the 5th turnover. And looks like the Hurricane nearly gave it right back to him. Officiating has tightened up a little bit. This will be the 3rd team foul.
And that's going to go against Drake Carroll for his 2nd of the game.
Be interesting to see what Coach Murdoch does here. Is traditionally, he's tried to protect those guys when they get to 2. I think at this point it's probably a good idea to leave Drake Carroll in a game where you're back into it, got a little momentum. Trust that your senior leader can play with 2 fouls.
Kemp goes against Carroll, tries the spin move, it's not there, hands off to McCauley. He goes against Taylor. He's looking for somewhere to go with it. Backs it out to Kemp. He'll take the quick 3. Wow. That's not there. Trevor Taylor there for the rebound.
Trevor, the stat sheet's not going to show what he's been able to do tonight. As we see Lindquist in transition, another assist, number 6 for Drake Carroll. But Trevor Taylor's not going to show up a ton on the stat sheet for the things that most kids want. But I'll tell you what, he's been a difference maker on defense tonight.
Kemp hands it off to McCauley, takes it right back, and it's an offensive foul. Again, it's his 2nd moving screen we've seen tonight.
And this is so hard for a player, especially in an offense like this where you have these dribble handoffs, you know, so many of those. It's hard because you don't want to just set the ball out there and get a defender who can get in between the offensive player and the screener, but that's a hard one, and certainly something the refs have certainly focused on the last 2 or 3 years as the screen has become so much of a focus point in an offense.
Carroll calling out the play, some movement going on here from the Mustangs. Gets it to Lindquist on the right side, up top, and they swing it around. It's Taylor on the left over to Carroll.
And you see, Caden, when they move the ball,
as they throw this one away.
Turnover number 7.
In transition, it's a 1-on-2, and it's good for Brigham Kemp.
And much needed for Hurricane there. And he's a great player. I really like Kemp. He's very athletic. He's certainly super aggressive.
Looking inside, Taylor has it. Tries to kick it out, overthrows it well over the head of Drake Carroll.
It's going to be turnover, I think. Are we 8 there now? I think that's turnover number 8. But I'd love to see these kids, especially in the post, reverse pivot. Just like the old school John Wooden day, reverse pivot instead of trying to have your back to the basket and throw across. Square up, rip through, see what you got.
Kemp brings it to the left side. Looking through the middle. Taylor's there with a hand on the ball. And they're going to
and this one this will be interesting if they call it on Trevor Taylor or that'll be his first. Okay, I was going to say if they called that on Drake Carroll, that's going to be his 3rd. Wouldn't be surprised. Well, I think maybe Coach Murdoch is thinking, do I take Carroll out here or go ahead and hope that we can get the ball back for one possession with him on the floor?
Gubler takes it over to the right side. Stout will pull the 3. That's not there. Lindquist with the rebound. Carroll in transition.
Oh.
Push shot.
I think I don't mind you being aggressive and trying to take it there, but the floater is just not a high percentage shot in high school basketball.
Free throw jumper, that's no good.
But Hurricane comes right back and gives them another opportunity. Really interesting shot clock management there, game clock management.
The shot clock was off for the Tigers, and only 10 seconds here for the Mustangs, so they will play for the final shot.
And if Crimson gets a bucket here, it'll make things look a little more interesting. Drake Carroll on the block. He's good down there.
And it's going to be a whistle. They calling a foul. They will call a foul.
And the Crimson players are throwing up some kind of diamond or triangle. My guess is this going to be something at the hoop.
Sort of out of bounds play.
Yeah,
here.
to try and get a lob or something going towards the hoop.
They did call a jump ball here. So out of bounds play with 0.9 to go. Into Lindquist, the catch and shoot, and it goes!
Well,
what a play. Let's check it out on the Holbrook Asphalt replay.
I really love the movement. They spread everybody out. It's a great pass by Carroll, his 7th assist of the night. Lindquist picks up his 7th point, and Crimson goes into the locker room with a little bit of momentum. 35-31.
Yeah, 4-point lead. 4-point lead here for the Mustangs as we head into halftime with maybe what could be already our Appliance Wholesalers Plus play of the game. That was a fantastic play to end the half there.
Very rarely do those things work out, right? You got 0.9 seconds left, and you drop, your home run play, lob in the air, and, usually those things are, it's a good attempt, but everything went like it was supposed to on that one.
Well, and I love that he knew what was coming because immediately looked at the clock, saw there was this 0.9 left, looked at the coach, called that diamond play, whatever diamond was, we now know. And it was a really good play to call right there in that scenario. It led to one more bucket, extends the lead. 37-31, I should say. They didn't count that bucket,
yeah,
so 37-31.
I looked up and I was going to say something. Man, it sure felt like that basket count. I think maybe they reviewed that and said indeed that it did go in. So they go in the locker room with a 6-point lead after being down early in the first quarter.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a break. Halftime here on the Fan Sports Network. We'll be back after the break with our halftime show brought to you by Great Harvest Bread Company. That's coming up next.
Hey, it's Luke with Udine Associates at American Family Insurance. At Udine Associates, we love insurance so you don't have to. With a quick call, we can get you an instant quote with the right coverages. My team of licensed agents are ready to help you with better insurance from American Family. Give us a call at 435-251-9102.
Relatives coming to visit, not enough room, or maybe you're looking to host a family reunion and need a house with a pool. Well, Red Rock Vacation Rentals has got you covered. From 2-bedroom condos to 10-bedroom luxury homes, they truly have something for everyone. Plan your perfect getaway or staycation. Visit St. George, Utah, vacationrentals.com.
From bold statements to subtle compliments, Wilkinson's House of Lighting will help you more fully enjoy all the different spaces in your home. Find us online at shopwilkinsons.com or come in and see what's new. 88 East, 1160 South, just off Main.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Kanab is open daily for free family fun. Take a tour, volunteer, hike a trail, or bring home a new best friend. Visit Best Friends today for magical memories that'll last forever.
Today's game is brought to you by Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, Sport Court, Scooters Coffee, and Holbrook Asphalt.
Halftime here on the Fan Sports Network. Halftime brought to you by Great Harvest Bread Company for a healthy lunch that everyone will love. Call Great Harvest in St. George today or visit greatharveststgeorge.com with delicious made-from-scratch lunches delivered right to you. The Hurricane Tigers got off to a hot start, but they weren't able to control the lead heading into the half. That's the Mustangs up top, 37-31 after a really good run in the second quarter. And, Ben, this has been a really enjoyable game so far. Maybe we can see some turnovers cleaned up a little bit. That'd be nice. But other than that, it's been really aggressive. We're seeing really good shots. And so far, a pretty high-scoring one for a high school matchup tonight on a Friday night.
Yeah, on the heels of all three region teams that won Wednesday scoring only 48 points, a statistic anomaly for sure. When do you ever see that?
Yeah.
Also, the home team only winning. That happens a little more often. But, yeah, we talked about it in the pregame how both of these teams are within a tenth of a percentage point in scoring average at 64.3 and 7. So kind of interesting. I said, well, I expect it to be in the 50s. And who knows here in the second half if the defense will clamp down. But so far, 37-31. I mean, Devin and I called the game at Utah Tech versus UT Arlington last night over at Burns Arena. And Utah Tech held Arlington to 27 in 20 minutes. And here both of these teams have scored in the 30s. So I like the pace of the game. I think it doesn't necessarily favor one opponent or the other. But I like how Crimson finished the half. I don't know, Caden, it almost looked like maybe Hurricane got a little fatigued or they were so hyped up they kind of used all that energy right out of the gate on home Friday night. But Crimson's battled back, but I would not be surprised if Hurricane comes out and has a similar start to the third quarter as they did to the game.
You know, in Hurricane scoring early, most of it, if not, next to all of it, came from baskets down low. The defense was really pushing the perimeter, right? They were keeping things up in the front. So as they were able to penetrate through that, you had a guy open down low. Or if they missed that shot, second chance opportunities were there. There were a lot of offensive rebounds and putbacks, and that went Hurricane's way. We just didn't see as much of that in the second quarter. So that's not something you can rely on as a basketball team to win games. You really have to work on the ball movement, perimeter shooting, and for Hurricane, the majority of their points came off of second chance opportunities. You're just not always going to get those. You can't bank on that.
Yeah, great points, Caden, and certainly going to be something that both coaches talk about in the locker room during halftime. And I think a point of focus is for sure going to be cleaning up the turnovers if you're Crimson, as they had, I think, 8 by my record. And then for Hurricane, it's going to be, hey, we got to keep crashing the offensive glass, because those second chance points is really what kept them in the game. That and that slashing style offense that they started so well with.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big part of Crimson's success in the second half, is to continue to use that backdoor cut. It works so well for them. And that's something that might be a little more, something you can do more often, we'll just say. Something that you can rely on throughout the second half. So looks like we've got ourselves a little bit of a miracle minute going on here today at Hurricane High School.
Yeah, this is one of the things, the national anthem is one of my favorite things in high school sports, and especially in the indoor atmosphere where that flag comes down and everyone's in attention. But this is the other, when they do a charity like this or a fundraiser like this for Trevor, a local Hurricane kid who I believe he was in an accident and he's now in a wheelchair, and I know he has some medical bills, and so they're doing the old miracle minute. They're going to send the cheerleaders out. He got purple on, must be his favorite color, I'm assuming, is kind of the symbolic part of that. But this is the cool part, is when the fans open up their pocketbooks and if nothing else, they recognize a great young man who's gone through some hardships.
And if you haven't noticed during the broadcast over here on the right basket, we do have a sign behind that hoop that says "Welcome Home, Trevor." And if you're wondering who Trevor is, this is what it's for. And a little bit of a longer halftime today as well to accommodate this part of the game, which I think is phenomenal to be able to see that we've got some community aspects. And that's one of the fun things I love about high school. And what I love about these kind of atmospheres is there's an opportunity for the community to give to someone in need and be able to show that, hey, we're more than just competitors tonight, because you're going to have people on the Crimson side, you got people on the Hurricane side. Everyone comes together for something like this. I look down here and I see Crimson Cliffs, some of their administration also wearing purple, and Crimson fans wearing purple. And so this is a little bit of everybody that's wearing purple tonight, which I find really amazing. So yeah, shout out to Trevor and this Miracle Minute going towards helping pay some of those medical bills for him, and that's phenomenal. So
love it.
We'll see. Hopefully they're able to raise a lot of money here tonight. And everyone, of course, giving a big old round of applause for Trevor as they welcome him back home here to Hurricane. All right, we're going to step aside for just a moment. When we come back, we'll finish up the Great Harvest Bread Company halftime show, get you ready for the third quarter. That's all coming up after the break here on The Fan.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Welcome to the Back Nine. We bring the world's best courses to you. Elevate your game at any time with 24/7 access to top-tier golf technology and expert PGA instructors available. Back Nine Golf is a place to improve your swing for all ages. Join us today.
Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Kanab is open daily for free family fun. Take a tour, volunteer, hike a trail, or bring home a new best friend. Visit Best Friends today for magical memories that'll last forever.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that can make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks A stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
Hey, it's Marco from Coral Canyon Golf Course, inviting you to play the course with the best backdrop in Southern Utah. Make sure you get out and experience great golf for a great price at Coral Canyon. Visit coralcanyongolfcourse.com or call us at 435-688-1700 for your tee times.
Today's game is brought to you by Boulevard Home, Intercap Lending, Red Rock Real Estate, and St. George News.
Back at it here, Hurricane High School. Wrapping up halftime here shortly. 37-31 is the score at the moment. We have a lead in favor of Crimson Cliffs. They have been really good through this second quarter, finding that backdoor cut. That's been one of the things we've talked about a lot, is how well they've been able to see the floor and really use assists to their advantage. That was one of the keys early on in the pregame coverage that we were talking about, was how important it is to keep those assist numbers high if you're Crimson Cliffs. They did come into this one leading a lot in the assist category over Hurricane, and they're showing how important that statistic can be.
And I've got him for 10 assists total. I have 7 for Drake Carroll, which you know, is 2 above his average for a game, and he's got that just in the first half. And so again, I've said it all season, when he's distributing and being aggressive with the pass first and the shot second, of course when he gets in the paint, he's got to shoot those, and when he gets a wide open look, he's got to shoot those. But when he draws attention and kicks it out or finds a back cut, he's really tough to guard. And then I've said it all season long too about his defense. The best on-ball defender in Region 9 is Drake Carroll.
And he's looked really good on defense here tonight. You know, they've had a hard time getting guards to really penetrate down into the defense or into the key and get past the defense. And when he's up top, he's been able to get his hands in passing lanes. He's able to not just get those steals away, but at the very least, able to divert the attention away from whoever it is that he's guarding. So yeah, he has been phenomenal on that defensive side.
And I think, you know, it's going to be really interesting to see how they come out here in the second half. Hurricane on their home floor. Good crowd tonight. Band is alive and well. And I expect some of that intensity. I think they're going to make a few of those adjustments and say, okay, look, we got to, I don't know if they're going to stay in that zone. I think they're going to probably come out in that man again. It seemed like Crimson had a little bit of success against that. And just continuing to be aggressive is what I would say if I was in the locker room for Hurricane. And if you're Crimson, I think, look, you've got a 6-point lead. Feels like you've got the momentum. Clean up the turnovers, as we talked about. Dial up more defensive rebounding so that you can limit all those offensive second chances that they're giving Hurricane in the first half. And continue to move that ball. When they do that, they've got the best personnel in the region. And close behind that is Pineview, of course, which we'll see on Wednesday of next week.
And the Pineview Panthers in the house here tonight as they're scouting out Crimson Cliffs, because yes, as you mentioned, that game is on Wednesday.
Probably, Caden, good time to go to the Nets on Fire Region 9 scoreboard. Looks like we've got the only other interesting game. Again, we've talked all season about how this Region 9 schedule is so bizarre. We're going to see a Tuesday region game for the boys. We're going to see 2 Saturday games, including one that starts at noon. And so a little bit unorthodox tonight. There's only 4 teams playing, 2 games, and it looks like we've got Dixie at the half up 30-19 on Snow Canyon. That means that Cedar and Desert Hills have the night off. And you can see Pineview, who plays Crimson, is here in attendance, getting an additional advanced scout on the Mustangs.
Absolutely. Well, with just a few moments left here in halftime, it is 37-31. We'll take a quick 30-second break when we come back. Second half on the Fan.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Hello? Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Today's game is brought to you by Findlay Subaru, Honolulu Grill, Nets on Fire, and Intermountain Sports Performance.
Second half here on the Fan Sports Network. Inside your Boulevard Home Game of the Week, making your house a home for 50 years here in southern Utah. As we start the second half, looks like we're going to see the Hurricane Tigers in possession of the ball.
An unusual amount of jump balls, too. I think we had 3 in that first half. 1 off of a massive Trevor Taylor block. And they're going to start right back at this one-on-one with Kemp, getting some inside penetration, and Trevor Taylor on cue with another big block.
Big block.
He leads the team in blocks. I believe he might lead the region in blocks as well with just under 3.
And I believe we've seen 3 already from him tonight. For sure, 2. I think there may have been a 3rd early on in this one they might have accredited to him. So here he is on the other side with the kick out. 3 on its way. There it is.
And again,
Eaton.
The X factor, Trevor Taylor could have shot that, but instead does the one more pass, and this is why Crimson averages almost 17 assists a game. Finds J.J. Eaton for the wide-open 3-pointer.
R.J. Hurst kicks out to McCauley, looking inside to Hughes. Hughes goes up with it, and that's what happens when you have a guy that's a head taller than everyone else. He can go up strong.
Good finish there. Certainly a good sign for Coach Stout and this Hurricane Tigers team to get something going here.
Lindquist on the right wing, looks inside to Carroll, gets it over to Taylor. Quick shot up and good off the glass.
Trevor Taylor with Drake Carroll with his 8th assist, which he could set probably a career high here if he gets to 10 assists. I don't think I've seen him in the last 2 or 3 years get something like that.
Deep 3, R.J. Hurst. Can't get that to go. Offensive rebound, second chance opportunity.
And really, it's the only thing that's really hurting Crimson right now is their offense is in full flow, but those second chance opportunities, we've already seen 2 of these.
Looking down the baseline as Murdoch puts it up high off the glass. That's not there. Rebounded. 2 Tigers fighting for it, and Kemp comes away with it. Big block by Taylor.
Number 4. And, I don't blame Travis for shooting that shot. It's not a great shot, but everyone else was just standing. As we see the replay here, Kemp tries to go length of the court, and Trevor Taylor, who has go-go gadget arms, little Inspector Gadget reference there.
Kemp backs it out. Quick handoff to Hughes, then back to Kemp.
I think Kemp is probably one of the hardest guys to guard on ball in region. I say Drake Carroll's the best defensively as we see a turnover for Hurricane on a missed pass, but you see Caden Kemp he is attacking. He can go left, he can go right, he can go through the legs, he can go around the back. That puts a lot of pressure on an individual ball or defender.
Yeah, he kind of likes that ISO basketball where he really wants to make the defender earn it before he hands off to another teammate. Taylor Swings it up. Carroll looking inside. Murdoch, he's underneath the basket open
And
for
that'll
2.
be assist number 9 for Drake Carroll. Great find. He really had 2 guys open there, and he kind of slipped through the defense and found Travis Murdoch wide open underneath.
Here's R.J. Hurst on the free throw line. Hands it off to Hughes. Kicks it out to Hurst. He'll take the deep 3. Drains it.
And, you know, this is the difference in this Hurricane team in years past, the last 2 or 3 years. You know, they would get close, and then the team would make a run, and then they'd kind of get that lead stretched on them. But this time they've been able to counter. Both times Crimson's made big shots.
Lindquist, he pulls up from 5 and drops that one.
And really, this is where he's got to find this level in his game. Sometimes he disappears and is a little too passive. There, he waits for all the defense to go by, rips through, makes a great jump stop, and shoots in his sweet spot.
3 on its way, and that one's over the mark from Brigham Kemp. Baseline drive, blocked by Murdoch, and R.J. Hurst is able to hold on to it again. He takes it back to the baseline, kicks it over to Hughes. Hughes kicks it back out, 10 on the shot clock.
Little helter-skelter here, Caden.
Hurst gets it to Hughes. He goes up and 1.
And that's going to be Drake Carroll's 3rd. I don't really love that call. I think there was some incidental contact there. I don't know if you got the replay of that, but I mean, you got to let the offensive player come down with the pass. And I think it was just a good finish. That one's hard, especially where it's his 3rd foul, but this is going to force Coach Murdoch's hand here. Is he going to go to the bench early and bring in Britton and have maybe Lindquist go to the point, or is he going to go to Will Hokinson or Sands Reed? It looks like he's going to hold it for now. Maybe a good chance as the free throw's knocked down to get into maybe like a zone to protect a player.
Carroll looking for cutting Taylor and throws that one away. 46-41 at the moment with the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs still on top.
And one of the few mistakes that Carroll's had.
On the drive is Gubler. He kicks it into the corner. Here's Kemp taking it through traffic. Kick out Gubler, wide open 3.
And you got to give Hurricane a lot of credit. They've been able to come back and answer every time Crimson's done something well in the 3rd quarter. 46-44. Hurricane's on a little bit of a run.
Taylor over to Carroll. He pulls up from 15 and gets that to go. 4-point lead for the Mustangs.
And senior leader Drake Carroll answers back with a great shot fake, 1 dribble jump shot. 48-44, Caden. 3:30 left. We got a great game. I'll tell you, it kind of felt like it was going to be that right out of the jump. Here's Kemp again, putting a lot of pressure.
Takes it down to Hughes. A foul comes, and Taylor's not happy about it because he got a piece of that one.
It was going to be his 4th block, and I think J.J. Eaton's just as surprised.
Eaton picks up the foul.
But give credit to Hurricane here because they've gone downhill. They do such a good job of that dribble handoff and screen and roll. And Hughes, that big body, he knows right where to go. He reminds me a little bit of Lemke as he was a younger sophomore, where he just was able to basket run, but he does it in the half court. Knocks down the free throws as well. And big soft touch for the big guy. And again, you got to give credit to Hurricane for responding every time in the 3rd quarter.
Hughes with his 2nd of the Fabulous Freddy's free throws and drains both of them. 2-point game here, 48-46. Mustangs looking to extend it with 3:17 left to go in the 3rd. Carroll brings it up past half-court line. Lindquist now on the right wing. Takes it back into the middle to Taylor. Looking inside. Eaton puts the ball on the ground. Defense pressure comes. Lindquist 3. Yes! Gets it on the kick out.
And that'll be his 12th point of the night. And this is what I love about this Crimson team. JJ could have shot that, right? But he one more dribbled, found a wide open shot.
R.J. Hurst.
And R.J.'s been a little quiet. He had that 3 there to stop the run early in the 3rd quarter, but look for him to get going as the 2nd leading scorer for this Hurricane team.
Eaton on the left wing. Picked up by Stout.
But Caden, they've responded every single time, and that's just the difference. As we see another turnover.
They hold on to it. 12-footer, and that's good by Lindquist to clean it up after a big mess.
And it could have been a foul on Carroll. I mean, there was a scrum on the floor there. He does a great job of securing the loose ball, rolls around, finds Lindquist for his sweet spot anywhere inside 12 feet.
Here's Hurst. Backing up, Eaton puts up the shot. That doesn't go. It's tipped around, and Eaton gets the board.
And Coach Murdoch saying, go, we finally got a rebound and some numbers, attack.
Carroll will pull the three and drops it for another.
And
Nets on fire three-pointer.
I like this timeout by Coach Murdoch right here, right? You've got the momentum back in your possession. Talk about what you're going to do defensively for the last 2 minutes here and see if you can stretch this 56-48 lead into the fourth quarter.
We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Hello? Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
At Grass Creek Construction, they put their heart and integrity into every build. Their team is committed to delivering top-quality commercial projects that stand out. Integrity is their competitive edge. Building with passion, building with purpose, proud sponsor of local sports.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that can make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks A stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
Welcome back in as we have a minute 57 left to go in the third quarter. 56-48 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. Mustangs have taken control here with some good scoring. A lot of scoring here in the third all around. This kick out, Stout takes it off the pass and it's in.
And both of these Stout kids can shoot it. And I think anytime somebody wears number 30, it's kind of like back in the day when we used to wear 23 for Jordan or 33 for Larry Bird. You know, these guys, they wear 30. That means they love to shoot the three-pointer.
Absolutely, as Lindquist takes one from a step inside, that's not there. He gets his own rebound, puts it up on a floater, that's not there either, but another offensive board. It's Taylor now, scoops it under and gets that one in.
And a great job by the X Factor, Mr. Trevor Taylor. And you talk about the offensive rebounds, Crimson gives it right back to Hurricane.
R.J. Hurst.
And they got a mismatch on the block here. Let's see if they can get the rotation.
And they get it there. Hughes gets it.
That's just, you got to have that weak side defense. Murdoch was late there. You're fronting the post. Hughes is too much to handle for this Crimson team unless Trevor Taylor's standing by his side.
Just 47 seconds left in the third. Kick out, 3 on its way. Hard out the back of the iron. It's tipped out of bounds. It'll be Tiger ball.
That's one where you got to understand time and score. You've just come in the game. It's 58-53. You know, you haven't had as many minutes in this game. That's one where I like when Crimson been's great. When they've been great, they've been moving the ball that one more pass.
Kemp controls it. Off to McCauley, now Gubler. Back to Kemp. He takes the 3 off the screen. That's not there. It's a good wide open shot.
And the whole Crimson staff is saying, hold one shot. And if they can get their wish, it'll be a good one, as they've struggled with these late game shots, sometimes getting turnovers or bad passes. But they're going to spread it out 4 corners for the final 10 seconds, Caden. Take it away.
10 seconds left, indeed. Inside to Taylor, looking for the cutter. It's Murdoch, he's there.
And what a great set play. They flush out that weak side, and we're going to see a half quarter nearly go in for Hurricane as we see 60-53. But I love that high post, flush out the weak side, backdoor cut as Hurricane plays so aggressive. Great execution there for Crimson to pull up a 7-point lead with just 1 more quarter to go. We've gotten everything we'd hoped for, Caden.
Indeed, we have a phenomenal game here with only 1 quarter left. Insider Boulevard home game of the week on the Fan Sports Network. 60-53, Crimson Cliffs leads.
Hey St. George, this is Brian. I'm the new owner of your local Everbowl. Looking for a delicious, nutritious meal? Come to Everbowl. Our acai bowls are packed with superfoods to fuel your day. And it's where Region 9 sports fans fuel up.
Aloha sports fans, it's Boo and Nick from Honolulu Grill.
Come get a taste of the islands. Try our famous Kalua pork or tender teriyaki chicken, and you'll love our mac salad and sweet sauce on your rice.
Don't forget to try our original Kava 8 at Honolulu Grill. It's game time.
Mustangs get the ball coming out from the quarter break. 60-53, Drake Carroll. Up to Taylor, looking inside, Lindquist, and one. He gets Quinn Gubler on his back.
And I'll give credit to Lindquist here. He's got a great left hand, but an excellent pass from Trevor Taylor, the X Factor, finds him on a designed post up. And you got to give credit to Crimson because they've really done a great job of executing in some of these time and score possessions. End of quarter, they've got 2 big buckets at the end of the first half and the third quarter, and they go up 63-53 for a 10-point lead, their biggest of the night, Caden.
Straightaway 3, that's good from Gubler.
And I, like I said, Hurricane is a different team than years past because they had answered every single time. And that's just not how they've usually been the last 3 years. And so you love to see that if you're a Hurricane fan at this point.
Off the glass, and that's good from Britton Phillips.
Great pass again by the X Factor, Mr. number 13, Trevor Taylor.
Hurst on the drive, puts up the shot, not there. It's rebounded by Phillips.
Exciting game. This is I think we've gotten our money's worth as we see a steal from Kemp at half court on the crossover by Carroll, and he's going to get his 4th foul right there. Maybe the worst possible thing that could happen if you're a Crimson fan, and even worse if you're the Crimson coach, because he's sitting there saying, Drake, don't mess with a defender like Kemp. He's a ball hawker, as we call him. Maybe the 2nd best on-ball defender. And then you go down, and at that point, that 4th foul is just way too valuable. You got to let him lay that thing in and go back and try it all over again.
First free throw made. It's a tough opportunity where you're given the chance to make the stop on one end, but you also know it could come with your 4th foul.
Right.
And he goes straight up, but the body movement, he was still moving his feet a little bit. They're going to call that.
But you got to know, with 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter in a high school game, you just got to say, all right, he got me. I'm going to let him lay it up, and then you just save that foul, because now what's going to happen, Caden, is as he knocks down the and one, we're not going to see him probably until 4 or 5 minutes.
Yep.
And Crimson's going to really have to do their job here to keep this game in that space in between them.
Here's Murdoch on the drive up against Hughes. No. Offensive rebound and put back by Phillips.
And great. We talk about offensive rebounding, but I think Travis Murdoch is saying, I'm pretty sure I got as much contact as Drake Carroll gave Kemp on that end, but sometimes those don't go your way.
No good there on the shot. Rebounded by Taylor. Bringing it to the other side is Phillips. Phillips will slow it down on the left wing.
And Hurricanes dialed up their ball pressure again. Again, look for these backdoor cuts. As Lindquist thought backdoor and JJ thought stay in the corner.
Stay corner.
And sometimes you just got to know at that point, but those are 2 guys, they'll go over, slap 5s, and say, hey, I'll get you next time.
And sometimes those mistakes lead to just knowing your teammate that much better, knowing what you're going to do next time. Yeah, well, learning to read some of that body language.
Yeah, you have to know against a guy like Hurricane, or a team like Hurricane, that they love that pressure, hand in the passing lane. So slow down, read the defender, not just the offensive guy.
And a foul on the ground. That'll go against Murdoch.
And let's see, I think this is his 2nd foul. Oh, it's his 1st personal. Okay, so he's in the safe zone. But 2 quick fouls here with just 6 minutes left. At 5:58, actually. 67-58. Crimson still up.
Kemp gets some defenders off the ground, scooped it up there, but can't get it to go. And an offensive rebound kicks it out to Hurst.
I think they're saying, well, they were saying 3 seconds on the Crimson side, but a great move there.
A good shot in by Kemp. 67-60.
Kemp's an exciting player to watch. I feel like, I haven't got a chance to see him very often this year. And it's certainly been a pleasure watching him execute on the basketball court.
Lindquist goes up top to Murdoch, swings around to Phillips. Goes back inside Lindquist. He takes it from 15. Off the back of the iron, no good. Offensive kick out, and they're able to control it. Little jungle ball there, but the Mustangs get it back.
A little bit of church league there, Caden.
Into the corner, they bring it back up. Phillips is there with the 12-footer. That's not there. Lindquist with the put back, and they take a 9-point lead.
And that's quickly going to be, I think, his 19th point. as he had a rough off game, you'd say, with only 3 points against Desert Hills. That's about 12 below his average, but certainly a difference maker tonight, and they're going to need it as Drake Carroll's probably got another minute on the bench.
Lindquist takes it over with the right hand. Goes up top to Taylor. Kick out. Phillips. 3. No. Quinn Gubler to clean it up.
69-60, and this I think we're going to get a close one here. The way Hurricane plays, I just don't see them, Caden, giving up a 15-point loss on their home floor. I think they're just going to find a way to keep it close.
Hurst looks inside the camp, and he puts up a shot off the catch and shoot. What a play.
Almost a reverse lob as they throw it onto the block. Kemp goes up in the air, turns over his left shoulder, and lays it off the glass. 7-point ball game, just under 4 minutes. Carroll's going to make his way to the scores table.
On the near side, it's Eaton. He takes it up top to Taylor. Taylor scoops it up with the right. Beautiful move. A little mini Euro step there.
Like I said, the X factor gives them that big basket or big pass or big block right when they need it. 71-62. Timeout by Hurricane here with 3:44 left, Caden.
We'll be back after this inside your Boulevard Home Game of the Week.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
At Intermountain Sports Performance, we've been training athletes for over 20 years, and we guarantee your athlete will improve speed, agility, explosive power, and reduce the risk of injury while working with the most qualified and experienced team in Southern Utah. Find us on Instagram at sportsperformance_IH to learn more.
Scooter's Coffee and Hurricane is the best way to start your day or get you through your day. From breakfast sandwiches to cinnamon rolls to amazing smoothies and, of course, coffee. Anytime is a good time to sip and smile Scooter's Coffee. Open 7 days a week.
Got ourselves a ball game here. 62-71. 71 for Crimson Cliff, 62 Hurricane.
And a little bit of a correction, Caden. I was messaged that I was not the original X Factor nickname for Trevor Taylor. That was one of our loyal Crimson Booster Club members. And I'll stand corrected there. But I do agree he is the X Factor, and certainly so tonight.
Absolutely. Hughes hands it off to Gubler to Kemp.
Now they're going to need to be careful going underneath these screens with guys like Kemp and Matthew. Yeah.
They'll pull it as soon as they get the opportunity. McCauley hands off to Kemp again. Kemp scoops it up. That's not there. Rebound Hughes. He's got the putback.
And an offensive rebound right there. I think he had a good block out, but that's just one where you got to get the butt a little lower and push him out. Carroll back in the floor, as we said, and turns it over with a little miscommunication. You can't have those at this point of the game. This is one where you got to tighten up a little bit, not in nerves, but just in making sure that it's there every single time.
And another turnover is Drake Carroll, who's checked back into the game, goes to the other side, lays it in.
And Drake's done a good job of this all year. Makes a mistake, but comes back and uses his defense to make a difference.
Here's Quinn Gubler. Off to Hughes. High in the key to Kemp. Kemp on the drive. Taylor's there. Has to back out of it. Goes to McCauley. McCauley backing up the baseline on Murdoch. Kicks out to Hurst. Hurst with the 15-foot jumper. That's off the back of the rim. Rebounded by the Mustangs.
Sure looked good.
Quick transition ball.
And we're about to the 2-minute mark here, Caden. I think it's going to be a good finish.
73-64. Mustangs lead. The finger roll gives them the double-digit lead. Drake Carroll.
Certainly in double figure scoring, and he's got 9 assists on the night as well. Unofficially, of course.
3 on its way. Front of the rim, no good by Kemp.
You're going to see Coach Murdoch tell him to hold up a little bit here with an 11-point lead with 1:45 in the fourth quarter. They're going to want to make sure and execute to perfection here the rest of the way.
Eaton looking for Lindquist. Lindquist has a drive inside, open lane, and one.
And this time, JJ had him on the first one, but I could almost see him non-verbally saying, back door, right? Yep, back door. Okay, here we go.
There was some hesitation from Eaton just to make sure the move was going to happen. He knew it was.
After the last one on the miscommunication here, Lindquist go to the line for a chance to take their biggest lead of the night.
And does with that one, and it is 78-64.
And those last two baskets by Carroll, the and one play there with Lindquist. It'll be interesting to see if we can see Hurricane respond here. They're going to need a three and a couple, well, probably 2 or 3 threes here the rest of the way to get into this game.
Kemp drives and loses a handle on it. It's going to be out of bounds after the Mustangs try to save it. Ty Gubler's checked into the game.
And it might be a 14. They're saying isn't the shot clock going to change? But they had possession there, so it'll turn a new 35 on.
It's McCauley looking inside to Hughes. Hughes lost a handle on it, and Drake Carroll's the one that's there. Reaching foul's going to come in again.
Like he was able to get a timeout here before the foul. I saw what you saw though, Caden. It looked like
I saw the reach, wrist. But they did call the timeout down.
But you know, with a 14-point game with a minute 9, Caden, you see that and you're like, oh wow, Crimson, you know, just they got a big lead on these guys, but that doesn't really tell the story. Hurricane has never been out of this basketball game, and Crimson has just executed the last 3 or 4 possessions to pull away.
Absolutely. Quick update, start of the 4th quarter. Dixie is up 42-32 over Snow Canyon. Start the 4th. So tighter one over there, 10-point game. It's still low scoring though, still low scoring.
You know, we talked about the region champ potentially having 3 or 4 losses this year. Of course, we have 2 unbeaten teams so far. And if it carries out the rest of the way tonight, we're going to have a Pineview Crimson matchup next Wednesday at home for Crimson against 2 unbeatens. But
yeah,
unusual to see Dixie with 2 losses in just the 2nd week of the region season. Certainly something that hasn't been seen in the last 5 years.
Yeah, and the way things are going tonight, Hurricane would pick up their 3rd loss in region. They'd be 1-3. Which the way that they started in the non-region schedule, I thought they might be doing a little bit better here in region play, but they still have been very competitive and expect to see a lot of them in the second half. Lindquist goes in the corner, they kick it out. It's Carroll now up top. Carroll up against Gubler.
Great
Finds
pass.
Trevor. And blocked away by Hughes against Lindquist.
Oh. You got to love the guys in stripes. It's never good enough for any home team fan.
We get that one to go. 37 seconds left in a 12-point game here. So still a big deficit to come back from.
And Hurricane's going to have to either get a turnover like that or a foul because they've only got 2 team fouls. They're going to get an easy layup there. Another assist for the X Factor, Trevor Taylor.
And they almost got the steal. But sometimes that over-aggressive defense will leave someone open, and that was the case just barely with Taylor finding Murdoch. On the drive, it's McCauley. He goes up with the left. That's not there. Hughes will clean it up.
And it's going to finish as a 12-point ball game as Crimson won't even grab the ball there because in high school you can let the clock run after a made basket. But it's going to go down as a 12-point victory, and I was way off, 80-68. Both teams exceed their season average of 64. But Caden, this game is a lot closer than the score really says.
Yeah, absolutely. This game really, it came down to just the last 4 minutes or so of this 4th quarter where, I mean, we had it within a 2-point game. We had it within a, you know, on average, maybe closer to about a 5-point game, but still a very close one nonetheless. At the end of it all, it is the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs that come out on top. 68-80. 80 is your winning score. And with that, we'll take a quick 30-second break. When we come back, it is the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show here on the Fan Sports Network.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
Relatives coming to visit, not enough room, or maybe you're looking to host a family reunion and need a house with a pool? Well, Red Rock Vacation Rentals has got you covered. From 2-bedroom condos to 10-bedroom luxury homes, they truly have something for everyone. Plan your perfect getaway or staycation. Visit stgeorgeutahvacationrentals.com.
Today's game is brought to you by Wilkinson's House of Lighting, The Ring, Jersey Mike's, and Coral Canyon Golf Course.
It's your Johnson Pediatric Dentistry postgame show. Dr. Cody, he makes your kids feel right at home at Johnson Pediatrics. They have that new patient special for cleaning, exam, and x-rays. Just $79. Give them a call, 435-628-0511. Crimson Cliffs puts up 80.
Look, I really thought, and maybe that's just clearing it out of their system for every region team, is it looks like Dixie Snow Canyon will go past what that 48 that everybody scored Wednesday, but I didn't see 80 points getting scored tonight. But maybe what hurt Hurricane a little bit was that pressure defense. Crimson really did a great job of responding with those backdoor cuts, and that's what you have to do against an overly aggressive defense. They were able to cut down on some of those turnovers there in the second half. It looked a little like Hurricane got a little fatigued. I mean, they had so much energy right out of the game that, you know, sometimes emotionally and physically you can run out of a little bit of gas, but I still really like this Hurricane team. Much different over years past. They've got a bright future and a couple of young players there. This is going to be a tough team for the next couple of years.
It is. They've got a really, really good lineup of guys. Some of them, as you mentioned, yeah, some of them are underclassmen, some juniors, some sophomores that are going to be bringing some life to the team for a little while. Crimson Cliffs, they do run with a good amount of seniors, but some underclassmen as well. So two really good teams that'll be seeing some good games for the next few years for sure. Let's hop into the post-game show, handing out some of these awards as well. Let's start with the Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. Check out AWP, Appliance Wholesalers Plus. See the local boys, the playmakers in the appliance industry at AWP. Across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart. You can buy direct and save. Now, there are a few really good plays, you know, defensively, offensively. You had whatever that diamond play was to end the first half, which was, I think, again, a well-executed play.
.9 on the clock.
.9 on the clock, a little
to
catch
the
and
air,
shoot.
corkscrew, Big T, Thurl Bailey, kind of turn in the air and shoot it while you pick up the rim. Great play there. You got the other one at the end of the third quarter, backdoor play to Murdoch. I mean, I'm going to let you pick on this one.
I want to go more towards I'm always a fan of going towards a point in the game where it was a big play that made a big difference. And it really was. There's a backdoor cut that put them up by, I believe it was 9 at the point. I want to say it was 69-60. And that brought them up to a point where it just felt like it was kind of the point of no return. And Crimson Cliffs was able to just take it from there and go the rest of the way. There were a few really good shots down the stretch that just felt like it again, pulled the momentum away enough to where Hurricane was climbing Mount Everest to get back into it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Let's talk about our Findlay Subaru star of the game as well. A few different guys you can go with. I think you go towards the X Factor. He was involved in so many different ways. You got to go Trevor Taylor here. Defensively, he blocked, I don't know how many shots.
I had him down for 4.
Yeah, and just creating a lot of turnovers. You could look towards Drake Carroll. He
9
had
assists.
9 assists, plenty of buckets himself.
I had him for 13 points.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, Lindquist comes in with 22 after an off game on Wednesday. You got the X Factor, who just seemed to be making a difference all over on the court. Unselfish, extra effort, steals, rebounds, block shots. I like to go with a guy like that.
Yeah,
it's easy to go with the points, and Lindquist certainly had a bounce-back game. A great game for him. He had some crucial buckets. That backdoor cut from J.J. Eaton for the and one, the big 3 early in the third quarter, and certainly a big bounce back for him. Murdoch had a great game too. I've got him coming in at about 16 for the game. Carroll 9 assists, 13 points unofficially, and so let's go with Trevor Taylor.
I like it. Trevor Taylor is our Findlay Subaru star of the game. Check them out on the savings side of the freeway. Visit them online at findlaysubaru.com. And one of my favorites as well, let's go with the Jersey Mike's sub of the game. Go get it Mike's way at Jersey Mike's.
Oh, that sounds good. I wish they had one right out here in Hurricane.
It sounds amazing. Britton Phillips, to me, comes to mind. Coming off the bench, he just always brings that little bit of a spark. And really found some good ball movement in there as well. Got a couple of assists himself. So
had a couple of good assists, had a couple of good rebound putbacks as we were, early in the third quarter as well. That kind of helped stave off that Hurricane run. And Crimson really only went 7 deep tonight, and they only really went for a couple of minutes past 6. So probably give it to Britton Phillips there, who did a great job coming in, getting some of those hustle plays and hustle points.
Final thoughts as we wrap up this broadcast here tonight. Hurricane Tigers, Crimson Cliffs, as Crimson Cliffs gets the win.
Yeah, I think Crimson was the favorite tonight, but I wouldn't have been surprised if Hurricane pulled off an upset on their home floor on a Friday night with a packed gym. Just the way that they've improved and the way that they've grown as a team and as a program. But my prediction was a 1-2 finish for Pineview and for Crimson. I'm not going to say who I picked first or second in that, but I figured by the end of the season that those two teams would be the last to be undefeated. We're going to have an undefeated matchup Wednesday night right here on the Fan Sports Network over at Crimson against Pineview. That's an interesting thing for me, is I think, Coach Amico is going to have them prepped and ready to go. He was up here. I saw he had the notebook out. No question he had diamond. Hey, we got to know diamond. We're going to be ready for that. And that third quarter backdoor play, they'll be ready for that. But this is going to be the first real test of the region season for both of these teams, as I think they're the front runners right now for the region championship.
Absolutely. Yeah, both of these teams coming up on Wednesday night. It's going to be phenomenal, and I guarantee that's one we're going to be broadcasting here on the Fan Sports Network. So be tuning into that one, 7 o'clock Wednesday night, Crimson Cliffs and Pineview Panthers. That'll be our next broadcast. Although it won't be our next live broadcast tomorrow night, Utah Tech Trailblazers in action. So make sure to tune in for that one, 7 o'clock on the Fan Sports Network, taking on Tarleton State at Burns Arena.
Yeah, and they beat SUU last night. Tarleton State did. Or Utah Tech, my gosh, I'm sorry. Utah Tech, of course, beating a big way. They had 15 three-pointers, school record last night. Noah Gonzalez goes for 22. Hakeem Bird goes, I think he had 22. No, I'm sorry. Gonzalez had 24, tied his career high. Hakeem had 22, his career high. Both of them had 6 three-pointers. It was an incredible game. Like I said, at one point it was 9 of 12. Shooting 75% from the three-point line. It was pretty impressive. And so that'll be
guys coming off the bench that played really well as well.
Yeah, that Utah Tech team could be interesting, especially with Grand Canyon losing to Utah Valley up in Orem last night.
And that's a big win for UVU
that really is. And so who knows? Maybe hometown Utah Tech Trailblazers can go to 2-0 in the WAC season right out of the gate. Certainly love to see it for Coach Judkins and that squad.
Absolutely. That's tomorrow night, 7 o'clock right here on the Fan Sports Network on the radio side on 99.5 and 95.3 in St. George. Well, that'll wrap it up for us here tonight. Shout out to Nathan Nelson back in the studio, Sebastian running the camera, and for Ben and myself, appreciate you joining us on this broadcast tonight. Have a good evening, everybody.